Hey YouTube, today we're going to be looking at another Glock. Everybody loves Glock, so let's take a look at another one. And before we go any further with this, let's make sure everything's safe. And I'm going to show you that there is nothing in this Glock. It is safe, it cannot hurt anybody through the camera. Okay, this is a Glock 26, chambered in 9mm. It is what was referred to by many folks as the baby Glock. And this thing is tiny. It will fit in the palm of my hand. This Glock will hold 10 rounds of 9mm with a flush mounted magazine. And it's a very good carry option for people that want to deep conceal something. 10 rounds was plenty of ammunition for any kind of situation that you're going to be into. You can always carry backup magazines for it. This one happens to be a Gen 5, so it features the ambidextrous slide release. It's got the serrations on the front of it. The Glock 26 always had the beveled front for going into a holster. That was a new thing on the Gen 5s, but the Glock 26 always had that. It has exchangeable back straps to make this thing bigger or smaller for your hand size. It does not have the flared magwell like most Generation 5s did. It just has this little lip here on the front. It's got a little hole cut out in the side, so any magazine will work in it from all the previous generations. So one of my problems with Glock people are their wing nuts, and I'm going to show you why I think they're all wing nuts. This gun is so small and will hold 10 rounds plus one, so essentially 11 rounds of 9mm, and you can't get a smaller package in a Glock with this much firepower. Now, what they've come out with in recent days or months or years, the more recent ones, they have what they call the Glock 43X. The Glock 43X is a slimmer frame. It's a double stacked 9mm that holds 10 rounds of 9mm. Now, the most important part in concealed carry, when you're looking for a concealed carry option in size, is the length of this grip. So when you're carrying something, this is going to print and show that you're carrying a firearm. And the shorter you can make it from here to here, the better off you are when you're trying to conceal something. And what Glock did is they went backwards, and they got all the Gucci Glockers to agree with it. They made a gun that was a single stack that's longer. It comes on to like right here and carries the same capacity, and people love it. They would rather have that than this Glock here. Now, the only problem with this Glock is if you have large hands like me and you put your hand on it, your pinky finger will not rest on it. But one of the things about that is it's mostly psychological. Your middle two fingers are always your strength fingers, and that's what you're holding on to. And I can get a good grip on this gun. I can shoot this gun relatively well without having this on there. If you start adding magazine extensions onto it, it's going to make it a little bit larger, which is going to defeat the purpose of having a small gun. So you might as well go to a Glock 19. But if you want a deep concealed 9mm, this is a great option for it. Now, the problem I have with this is it's not the fact that my pinky finger doesn't fit on it with the flush magazine. My problem is drawing this weapon. You don't have a lot of real estate here when it's in the holster to draw it out of. And the most important thing in a concealed carry gun is being able to deploy it, to draw it. And if you can't draw your gun, it's absolutely worthless to you. Now, this worked perfect for somebody with a little bit smaller hands than I have. That's why I don't carry this thing around. I haven't even shot this a whole lot because of that. I thought it was a great idea, and that's why I got it, and I don't regret getting it. I have carried it before. I know that it works and all that, but it's just the draw on it. Just absolutely, that's my only concern with this. That and the fact that it's not a 45. Because 45 is way superior than a 9mm. But we'll get into that another day. But other than that, this is a great carry option. This is something that's overlooked by a lot of people. They've come out with a lot of these micro 9mm guns here in recent times, like the SIG P365 and the Hellcat and all that. And this thing holds just as many rounds. It's a little bit larger, so it's a little bit to get your hands on to get it out, but it's not so large that you can't conceal it perfectly. Because, I mean, how can you argue that that's not small? It's called the baby Glock for a reason. That's what they've always referred this to. So I would rather trust the Glock reliability over something new that's come out. And if you get much smaller than this, you start getting into drawing issues, and anytime you can't draw a weapon, it becomes a problem. It doesn't matter how well it works if you can't use it. So just keep that in mind in it. But I just wanted to show you a real quick overview of the Glock 26 Generation 5. It has the larger magazine release. It has a Gen 5 pyramid texturing on it. It has the back straps. It does have this little lip that helps you keep your 2 fingers on there. It just makes it feel a little bit more secure. Front serrations, all the Gen 5 stuff. The single pin up here, so it's a total of 2 pins. It's just all Generation 5. It's a great carry option for people with a little bit smaller hands than I have. And like I said, that's my only problem with this gun. Runs 100% reliable. I've never had any kind of malfunction with it or anything like that. And that's what you can expect out of any kind of Glock. But anyway, folks, let me know what you think about the Glock 26. Seems to be the forgotten carry weapon of the new age carry guns. And people are just, I just do not understand Glock people. They talk one way about how they want capacity, and then they get this thing, and it's got a pretty good capacity for how small it is, and then they step up to a Glock 43X, which is so much longer, but still only holds 10 rounds. It's almost the same length as a Glock 19, just a little bit thinner. Why wouldn't you just, if the length of this bothers you, why wouldn't you just buy a Glock 19? That Glock 43X is probably the most worthless gun I've ever seen them come out with, and I don't understand it, but since Glock came out with it, it's the end of all. People love them. They're like Apple. But anyway, folks, let me know what you think about this Glock 26 chambered in 9mm, and let me know what you think is the positives and negatives of it. And thank you very much for watching my video, and you folks have a great day.